Good morning. This is Ken Obasi Leslie again. We're going to be talking about art and alchemy, and we're going to talk about a little bit about the Hermetic laws, the laws of the universe. And of course, I always got my music going, it's in background. We have Sun Ra, and I am an avid Sun Ra fan. So basically, but here we go, and one of the pieces that I'm working on now is this piece here, and a lot of the pieces that I do are assemblages, where I find objects and different things. It could be found objects. It could be just, little objects and symbols that are around the house, and I put them together and build upon the piece with them. To create, a whole nother energy. So this piece here is called, if there's a white house, there has to be a black house. And, so this piece is based upon one of the Hermetic laws, actually law of opposites, laws of polarity. And, it's just that because, opposites are really the same, as far as the Hermetic laws go. You got one situation on one side and another situation on the other side, and basically what happens is you keep going. They create what you call a circle, and they meet each other. A lot of times that we put ourselves in what you call the situation of I'm on this side and I'm on that side, and but really what it really comes down to ultimately is it happens to be the same side. It's the same thing. There's just a creation of duality, a creation of opposites in order to more or less as the agenda to establish a certain effect. So that's the thing that we're talking about now. So but primarily this piece is a piece that I dug up. I was working on it some years back, and and I said, oh wow, and let me go ahead. Now, as you could see, the piece is sort of the basis of the piece is kind of made like a checkerboard or chessboard, So, and a lot of the images on the piece are Obama. And, let me go back again, because when I did make this piece, this is during the time that Obama was becoming president and everything. But basically, the piece is kind of a piece that deals with, again, like I said, duality, and it also deals with the chess game. Sometimes, some folks out there playing checkers when the game is really chess, and so there are lots of things that are going down and that are taking place. There's agendas on top of agendas, and we're talking about things that are happening in the matrix right now. There are all types of changes that are being implemented. There are changes that are coming from the spiritual level, metaphysical level. There are changes that are coming from the material level, the matrix, or whatever, and they're interacting, and somebody's making a move, and all of a sudden there's energy that's from the metaphysical level that makes it a counter move, and there's energy from the spiritual level that makes another move, and and then we find out that, well, that wasn't a good move. We're gonna have to, like give up one of our pawns, and hey, it's a game, and so basically, this is what this piece is dealing with, and but to talk a little bit again about the laws, the Hermetic laws, the 7 principles. Basically, the laws were originated from the Kabbalion, and the laws relate to the feminine and the masculine principles, and so if I could find out, basically, okay, and it, like I said, I don't want to make this video too long, but the first law, the first Hermetic law is the principle of mentalism, all is mind. So, it's just that meaning that everything that is created in the realm of matter first was a thought. It first came from the thought realm. So, it's just it's a very fundamental level. And see, the second law is the law of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. And as without, so within. So at the heart of the principle of correspondence is the idea that there are constant links between the mental, physical, spiritual, and all planes. So basically, we're talking about the microcosm and the macrocosm, and it's just that there has what is happening on one level, on the cosmic level, or heaven, or whatever you want to call it, has to happen down here on Earth. Another law is the principle of vibration, which everything in the universe vibrates. We're talking about music, we're talking about frequency, well, actually frequency and vibration are two different things, but they are related. And so, we just, talking about like those who experience working with the law of attraction will likely and already be very familiar with the something like the principle of vibration. All things carry its own unique energy on the planes of existence. In fact, the smallest particle in the universe has a vibrational frequency that impacts on all things around it. And this principle tells us that high energy things are magnetically drawn towards one another and are attuned to them on a basic level. So you would find that that there's a thing that Einstein came up with called spooky action at a distance, and so this has a lot to do with vibration and everything. But like I said, I'm not going to keep. There's a principle of polarity. Everything is dual. Everything has poles and everything has a pair of opposites. So actually, this piece that we're working on is based upon mostly on the principle of polarity. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extreme meets. All truths are but half truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. And the Hermetic principle of polarity tells us is that all things in our lives have an opposite, and that the resulting contrast is part of what gives our narratives meaning. For example, without knowing what lack feels, it is difficult to focus on that and appreciate abundance. So that's the principle of polarity. Then you have the principle of rhythm. Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. One of the major things we can learn from the principle of rhythm is that everything is in constant motion. So, it's just that music, the universe, the planets, the stars, nebulas, they all of them have rhythm. The science of astrology is based on a rhythm. Our seasons, or everything. Our heartbeat, we're talking about rhythm. And the principle of rhythm can help you with mindfulness practices that support your law of attraction work. Let me keep going here. The principle of cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Sometimes it's called the principle of causality. So basically, if whatever you see that happens came from somewhere, and there's always whether we are aware of what the cause is or not, because like a lot of times we see the result of things and then we make our judgment based upon but we don't really know why this thing happened, So the principle of gender, gender is everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. And, and we're not just talking about male or female, we're just talking about energies here, on the principle of gender. And, it's just that, like, the earth is I could say the earth has a female kind of energy about it, The moon has a female energy about it, it's just that, there, and we can get into this deeper and deeper as we go, but primarily this, this video was basically, I'm starting out talking about like metaphysical things and talking about art and alchemy and how art can be what you call symbols of transformation, symbols of information, and symbols for healing, and everything that you want to do in order to level up. So basically, again, this is a assemblage, and what I do with assemblages is I glue things on. You could see on this piece that there were some things that I had on there, and took them off and maybe put them back on, and different things of that nature, and that's the nature of the piece, or nature of how I work, basically I'm I love to use paint. I love to use acrylics and pastels, and I very seldom use oils. But my art is more metaphysical, more spontaneous. My art is it deals a little bit more with chaos. I'm chaos at heart, and out of chaos comes order. So and I love to transmute chaos into order through the process of doing my work. So excuse me for a minute, and I have one piece here that I'm going to start with. This is my symbol. It is a symbol of music, and the saxophone is always a symbol. I found a little saxophone here, I'm going to put him right here, and I think I need to put a little bit more glue on him. Let's see if and for the moment, it is sticking. But probably what I may have to do is do some things in order to fortify it, so it just doesn't fall off. And but in working with assemblage and in working metaphysically, taking objects, creating, and let's put it this way, you don't have to sit around and think about the stuff. It's just that, like, if we have stuff around the house and objects around the house or whatever, you just start, you just get a basis, or you get a board, or whatever. You could do a painting, or you get a fountain, and just start gluing the objects on, because that's the beauty. That's the beauty of it, because now you are doing something that doesn't require a lot of mental energy, a lot of like, okay, where should this go? What do I need for that? Where, it's that. But actually, if you have the objects, sometimes you just find things, put them together and whatnot, and then just start gluing them on, because the narrative will create itself. This comes from your subconscious. This comes from that flow, that flow that is not fettered down by that mental chatter, and and for example, okay, here I got another piece that I like to put on, and actually it's a dove, it's a bird, and it's just that, and that piece, you always know what the dove, what the dove represents, and we talk about peace, love, tranquility, all those things that has to do with a higher level of spirituality. And so, and here's the dove right here, and this probably originally came from a Christmas ornament. We're gonna put him right here. You know, can you see? Yeah, I gotta put him right there, and you know, and what we're doing again is we're embellishing this piece with different objects, and actually you're seeing the process of how I do assemblages, you know, and I love to do assemblages, and you know, because they're just in my spirit, you know, and I mean, you know, I love taking something that that maybe just be sitting around and putting things together and juxtapose different things together and whatnot, and you know, and you just create a whole different world, a whole different energy, you know. So you know, this is what I'm doing with this piece. Again, this piece is called "If There's a White House, There Has to Be a Black House," you know, and we're not really talking about anything racial or anything, but again, it could be, but you know, but we're talking about in terms of, we're talking about like the law of polarity. You know, we're talking about the energies and things, about balance. We're talking about a law of the universe, you know, and you know, and that law, and you know, and those are the laws that cannot be changed, you know, and so you know, and if you meditate, and you know, the laws are all, they're part of our Akashic record, you know, they're part of our subconscious. Those laws are already inside us, you know, it's just that and there, I mean, like I said, there's 7 basic laws, and of course there could be lots of other laws that we have not even discovered yet, you know, and that we don't even have a concept, you know. And maybe there are entities, you know, in the universe. It could be entities even around us, you know, angels, aliens, whatever, who have discovered, you know, other laws, and are able to implement those laws, and you know, we haven't even been able to even conceive of those laws and whatnot. But as time goes on, I think that we will, you know, just a matter of you know, research, a matter of meditation, and a matter of you know, learning. So you know, but again, this piece is so you can see it a little bit better. You know, it's called "If There's a White House, There Has to Be a Black House." You know, so another thing that I want to do, and I'm not gonna let this video be super long, you know, because a lot of times, you know, my phone, and I do most of these videos on my phone, you know, and usually, and a lot of times the battery just runs out, you know, and I mean, not the battery, but the, you know, how much storage I have, and then it'll let me know, hey, time's up, buddy, you know. And here's another piece that is just kind of old. I'm gonna put that piece right here. I think you can see it right up there. And you know, and again, like spending time at home, and I'll do some other pieces, and you know, work with boxes or whatever. But this becomes a form of meditation. This becomes a way to let go of a lot of different things that you know, because you know, for a moment, You get away from TV, you get away from all the stuff that's in the media or whatnot, and you're able to just sit down and work on something, and where you don't have to put a lot of mental energy into it, and that's the thing. I think that Rocky is agreeing with me back there. Let me turn this around. You can see there's Sebastian's up there on top of the door, watching me, say hi to the folks, Sebastian's. Rocky's in the other room trying to get his word in, as you can hear. And so, again, you're seeing in the background a lot of the pieces that I do, that some of the pieces are finished, some of them are not, but that's the way it goes. So, okay, well, it's just that basically I just wanted to put up another video just I try to stay away from politics and things of that nature, this is like art and alchemy, art for the healing, art for education and transmutation. So I'm glad that you could spend a little time with me, and we'll continue on in the next video, and we'll do some art and bring out some of those things that are inside that are beneficial and healing. Until then, Odabo, and I'll see you later.